Thank you for joining me here on a Monday night after the Monday night game. Our little ritual and tradition is to break down the upcoming week, buy lows and sell highs. And we're walking into week 9. We've got devastation everywhere, chaos everywhere. Derrick Henry out 6 to 10 weeks, probably the entire season. There's a small window of hope he could return in like week 17, but he's out for the year. You know, if you own him, you probably put him on IR and you wait just in case you make the playoffs and you're in the final week and he comes back. But would he even be healthy enough to play a full workload? Probably not. Chaos everywhere. You have Calvin Ridley stepping away from football. How long? His entire career? Is he done? Is he retired? Is he staying away 4 games to get whatever he's got to get sorted out? Or is he coming back in 2022? We don't know. We have all kinds of chaos everywhere. We have Mike White emerging as a potential next elite quarterback. Oh, Smitty, you can't say that. You can't talk about a guy that is only played 1 game and say he could be elite. I'm not saying he is going to be elite. I'm saying he could be elite. We're talking Mike White. We're talking Derrick Henry. We're talking Calvin Ridley. We're talking who to add. All the players you see on your screen. Every single name that's on this screen. We're going to either drag into the buy low column or the sell high column. We're breaking it all down right now. The Fantasy Football, where's my intro? The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. Smitty. Take a lap.
What is going on, good people? My name is Smitty. You are watching the Fantasy Football Show. I'm still a little under the weather, so pardon me if I look like I'm about to throw up onto the desk here, or if I get out of breath. I'm still getting over this pandemic situation here in Casa de Smitty, and I don't necessarily... What did I just drop? Something just fell off of my desk. Look at this. Slayer's already dropping the super chat, walking in the door. Appreciate that. Punch the thumbs up. There are already 50 to 60 of you that just filed in. Why not punch the thumbs up for your boy Smitty? Help me out. Help the channel out. Help your home out. This is your home. You're at your home right now. Okay? Now we're going to get into a little bit of news before we get into the week 9 buy low, sell high. And we're doing it live today. This is actually me live. Usually we do a live premiere and I'm in the chat talking about the video that I created and delivered in live format. But today we're live because Smitty didn't have the energy to do a post-production video. And you know what? Sometimes our live videos are better than the post-production videos. So here I am. And I'm on NyQuil, which you guys all seem to enjoy. I get requests for more videos while I'm hopped up on the NyQuil and DayQuil variety. So I've got that variety pack in my system. We're ready to go. We're all hopped up and doing it live. Thank you, Slayer, again for the super chat. Derrick Henry out 6 to 10 weeks. I know a lot of people think there's a possibility, and I don't blame you. You're a Derrick Henry owner. You're hopeful that he could return in like week 17, something like that. And there is a very small opportunity of him to return. So in a redraft setting, you'll want to potentially put him on IR. Maybe you do hold him in hopes that you make your playoffs and you get to the big dance and he comes in 1 week and delivers. But you've got so many moving parts and variables for that to not make sense. Like the Titans have a 3-game lead in the division. Will the Titans make the playoffs, secure a playoff seed? Will they even want to run the risk of rushing Henry back if they do make the playoffs, which they probably will, and send Henry in there to get hurt 1 week before the... No, it's probably not going to happen. Derrick Henry is probably not coming back this year. You need to prepare for that scenario. That means Adrian Peterson, who was signed and elevated or will get elevated to the active roster, will compete with McNichols. And McNichols is really the only guy that has the scheme down, the offense down, the playbook down, so he probably will get the early initial run. But AP could quickly rise up and be the main guy there. But you know what? While everybody's looking left, I'm going to go right. I don't think I'm picking up McNichols or Adrian Peterson. I'm dropping my fab dollars, my 100 out of 100 load drop if I've got it left and didn't spend it on Eli Mitchell, which I told everyone was my 7 or 8 out of 10 likelihood if I had to put a scale on it. I do that during the waiver wire period in weeks 1 through 6. I give you guys, unlike other analysts, I give you a rating. Hey guys, you guys ask me how much fab to put on a player. I don't know. How do I know how much fab to put on in your league, Bill? I don't play in your league. I don't know if your league drops 100 out of 100 dollar bills, cash money on a waiver wire prospect ever. I could just pull it right out of my rear end and say, drop $80. I don't know what your historical trending is for fab dollar spending in your league. Everyone's league's different, okay? So it's going to come down to your league. But what I can offer you are a set of particular skills I've acquired over a long career, skills that make me a nightmare for your league mates. And that is giving you a rating system on a scale of 1 to 10, or a percentage, 70%, 80%, 90%, on who the best pickup of the year could be from that point moving forward. And I told you Eli Mitchell, 7 or 8 out of 10 was the best pickup of the year when he was available, which means load drop time, which means if you do a load drop, a serious 100% all your fab on one player, guess what? Then, a guy like Mitchell deserved 100 out of 100. I did a 100 out of 100 in like 5 of my 10 leagues where he was available. I played in a lot of dynasties, so he was scooped up in a lot of leagues. But in redraft where he was there and I didn't already own him, I dropped a $100 bill, a 100 spot on the man. There is another player, another person, another non-running back that is worth potential load droppage in week number 9. And his name is, if this is Dynasty or 2 QB leagues, Mike White. Now you might say to yourself, Smitty, what are you talking about? This is Zach Wilson's team. Might I repeat myself? 2 QB league or Dynasty. If it's redraft, if you need a quarterback, maybe take him. In Dynasty or in 2 QB leagues, it's time to take a chance, people. I am not telling you that Mike White is the next Kurt Warner or Tom Brady or Dak or Russell Wilson. I'm not telling you that. I'm getting to the super chats in a second. We're in rant time. When we're in rant time.
Time for a Smitty rant.
We're in rant time. When we're in rant time, everything is put on hold briefly, and I'm currently ranting. So give me 1 second, and then I'm getting to the super chats. Where was I at? And I'm on NyQuil. I'm doing pretty good. I'm staying focused. I'm actually pretty proud of myself right now. I think I'm staying quite focused. Narrow vision. Mike White. What were we talking about? Mike White. I'm not saying he's Kurt Warner. I'm not saying he's the next Tom Brady. Please do not take out of context what I'm about to tell you, okay? But these players emerge once every half a decade, and they're usually quarterbacks. Running backs, you once in a while see like a James Robinson pop up, but quarterbacks specifically, there are quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, like Dak Prescott, like Tom Brady, like Kurt Warner, that come out of nowhere, and you get a small shot and window of opportunity to evaluate them, grab them, roster them, and then hope that they become what you might get a glimpse of in a good gut, warm and fuzzy feeling about. And I'm getting the warm and fuzzies big time when it comes to this man, Mike White. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. Mike White is getting me excited. and I'm grabbing him. I'm dropping $100 here. I spent $8 measly on some stupid ad drop in this one league, and I was like, I got $92 left out of 100. Why did I spend $8? I'm dropping $92 on Mike White in this other dynasty league. I'm in a 2 QB non-dynasty league, dropping full load drop on Mike White in that league too. I might be wrong. We might be wrong on Mike White. They invested a lot in Zach Wilson, okay? So there's a lot of reason that this could not work out. But when you get a glimpse of a player, you don't trip and fall into, 37 for 45 passing and 3 TDs and 400 yards. You do not trip and fall into that kind of accuracy. Playing a really good team. Yeah, defense is spotty, but a really good team in a really tough game. Looking really, really solid, commanding the offense, having the respect of all your players. There are a lot of things pointing to Mike White being the real deal, and some of it's coming from the players themselves. He's a warrior. He's a dog. They love him. They talk about him like he's a leader, like he's their leader. He commands the respect of everybody around him, mixed with the fact that he's one of 4 or 5 quarterbacks in NFL history to throw for 400 yards in their first NFL start. And no, he's not a rookie, but he's never started a game. He's never played. He's been, sitting there unused in the NFL. Comes into this situation, starts his first NFL game, and this dude drops 400 yards, 3 TDs, 1 tip pass for an INT, another INT you can credit to him, and like 37 for 45 roughly. I'm trying to use my foggy brain. You do not trip and fall into those numbers. So, numbers, that's one thing. One identifier. Eye test. I see it in the guy. He looks really polished, really good. And he made everyone shine around him. Player involvement. The flourishing of the Jets for once this season. The first time this season we see signs of life. We knew Michael Carter was good, but we didn't see anything from him. He was like a stunted flower, unable to blossom until Mike White came over and just hovered over the situation, and then boom, Michael Carter was born. Michael Carter looked like a mini Alvin Kamara out there. 9 catches for 90 yards? What was it, 9 for 90 yards or something like that? I forget what the total was. Someone hit me with the totals on the Michael Carter receiving action. It was like 9 receptions for like 90 yards. It was Alvin Kamara, like a poor man's Alvin Kamara. Actually, more like a middle-class Alvin Kamara. A middle-class Alvin Kamara. I am live. Who says I'm not live? I'm live right now. This is normally a post-production video we release in a premiere format, but I'm live right now. I'm live. I'm just ranting. I'm ranting. 95 yards. Thank you, Godfred. Appreciate that. So, moral of the story, Mike White is my top waiver wire grab in Dynasty or 2 QB, and I'm dropping the entire wad of fab cash on the man. And while everybody's looking left and they're getting McNichols, Adrian Peterson, because they're in an offense where Derrick Henry lived, so they've got to be good, right? Wrong. You don't know what's going to happen there. And while everybody's looking left, even in redraft where I don't need a quarterback like Mike White, I'm probably going with Gore. Derek Gore from KC feels a little more attractive than those two Tennessee running backs that are fighting for carries. He does. He looks good. They trust him. Darrell Williams gets banged up, and boom, you got a guy that's going to potentially be in one of the most potent offenses in the league, and they trust him with the football in a lot of weird situations that you think they wouldn't trust him in with. And he got a touchdown, looked pretty good, looked elusive. They might want to use him between the tackles later on during the year. I'd probably pick him up. Assuming Michael Carter isn't available, he'd be the number 1 waiver wire grab in redraft 1 QB leagues, because he is going to be looking a lot like he did on Sunday moving forward. If Mike White's in there handing him the football and spreading the offense out, this guy looked phenomenal, this Mike White character. Say his name. Mike White. You're damn right. Pick him up. He's the one who knocks. Not McNichols. Not AP. It's Mike White. That's the answer. Now get on over to your waiver wire and drop your entire fab in a 2 QB or dynasty league on this man Mike White. And let's hope. Let's hope. All right, Tanner, what's up, Tanner? Derrick Henry, we know he's out 6 to 10 weeks, probably not coming back this year. Put him on IR if you can in redraft. In Dynasty, what do you do? I'll get to the super chats in 1 second. In Dynasty, what do? You don't trade for him. I'm getting DM after DM. Smitty, do we go after Derrick Henry in Dynasty? Oh God, everyone's sleeping. Do we go after Derrick Henry in Dynasty, Smitty? The answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is not. You don't go. I didn't think he'd stay put together in one piece on the year, running at 30 carries a game after 2,000 yards. I thought I had another skeleton around here. These are not skeleton models. These are the Halloween decorations. These are actually for the show and breaking down the medical side of things, where Derrick Henry broke this metatarsal right here. Kind of if you grab your foot, the part where it kind of goes out the most when you go past your smaller toe, that part right there. Surgery out 6 to 10 weeks, probably more likely the 10-week or 8-week variety. A lot of people holding out hope for that 6-week mark. I don't think it's going to happen. Not at his size. Not at his size. You've lost it on Mike White, Smitty. We'll see, Okafor. I've heard this one before. I lost it also lost it on Dak Prescott. I also lost it when I talked up Russell Wilson. Who's Russell Wilson? And Russell Wilson, Okafor, made my bold predictions. And I'm not saying Mike White's for sure it. I'm just saying we have an opportunity to grab a guy and decide later. Okay, Okafor, it's all about the opportunity. We have a small window of opportunity to grab a guy like this, put him on the roster, and hope it works out. When you see flashes of what we've seen with Mike White, when you see a 400-yard game, when you see 37 of 45 passing, 3 TDs, 1 of 5 quarterbacks to ever throw for 400 yards in his first NFL start. I'm not saying he's a lock. I'm not saying he's the next Kurt Warner. I'm not saying he's the next Tom Brady. I'm not saying he's the next Dak Prescott or Russell Wilson. I'm saying that when you see a guy that fits the mold, you got to grab him and evaluate later. You start asking questions, someone else is going to scoop them up, and you tell me how you think that person felt, Okafor, that said the same thing to me when I told people that Kurt Warner was going to be the next breakout. How many people do you think laughed just like that and said you lost it on Kurt Warner? You lost it on Russell Wilson. I'm just asking, Okafor, how many people do you think said that same thing? And there is a reason why I rank high in quarterback pre-draft rankings on Fantasy Pros. Was top 6 1 year, 3 years ago, I think, and then number 5 overall the year before that. I know quarterbacks, bro. Quarterbacks are in my wheelhouse. I do have to say, and I just get a warm and fuzzy feeling. Situation can determine a lot. Mike White needs to be grabbed in Dynasty and 2 QB leagues. So, Okafor, I don't know if you came in and you heard 1 QB league or something, and you're like, why is this guy talking about in redraft to pick up Mike White? I'm not. I'm talking about Dynasty, 2 QB, grab him. Boston Scott is a better pickup than the Tennessee running backs. I think, of course, Michael Carter's the number 1 ad if he's available because of what we saw when Mike White was on the field. And you got the Ridley news, the Derrick Henry news, just complete chaos in fantasy football right now. So we're going to get into the ad drops, but first we're going to get to these super chats. Jake, thank you for the super chat. Derek, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to go up and grab them and throw them on screen and answer these questions real quick and then get to the week 9 buy low, sell high content. So let me grab all these super chats. I appreciate everybody loading up the screen with them. Mr. Punch dropping a big one. Rock Out dropping a usual super chat. We got Overcome all over the place, overcoming the screen with super chats. And we got Slayer who dropped the first super chat. And if anybody else has any more, please drop them and I will drag them onto the screen and go over them. Slayer, appreciate yours. I don't know if you have a question, but definitely let me know. Overcome says Henry for Ridley. I don't know which one's going to disappoint you more moving forward at this point, my friend. Of course, Henry could return, and so if it's Dynasty, you're going to want... I don't know. I think Ridley has a shot at returning in Dynasty. Ridley's got probably a better shot at returning in redraft than Henry. I know you're joking, kind of a play on the bad situation. But to answer you honestly, there's a higher chance of Ridley. This man is a mother-loving fantasy guru. Literally predicted Henry getting an injury. I'm not taking a victory lap. I'm just reading the super chat. Literally predicted Henry getting an injury at some point. Put respect on the man's name because he knows what he's talking about. I did say trade him before double-digit weeks or you will be so upset at yourself. And this is double-digit week time. We're heading right toward it. And before double-digit weeks begin, it sucks. It was a mathematical certainty in my mind. When you get 27 to 31 carries a game, coming off a 2,000-yard season, and you weigh about 260 pounds, you're not built different. You are built different. You're built in a way that's going to break down quicker, too, when you're getting that kind of volume. I'm not feeling it in Dynasty. I appreciate it, Mr. Punch, for you dropping that. And I always appreciate your super chats. You are the man, the myth, the legend they call Mr. Punch. And please punch the thumbs up on your way in the door. We got 200 people in here. How many thumbs up we got? Can we please? It does help the channel tremendously when you guys hit that thumbs up button. I can't even explain to you what it does for my channel, what it does for our community when you guys punch that thumbs up button. So please do so and help your man Smitty out as we break down the trades and the buy low, sell highs for this week heading into week 9. The guys you want to go get and acquire before your trade deadline is here. Should I package DJ Moore with Swift for Jamar Chase? That is a tough one. I'm going to say probably, if you've got the depth to do it, I would potentially look to do it. But that is a lot of talent, and I don't know. Rodney, I got your super chat on the screen, bro. I'm going to see this pile of them. I'm going through them right now. Should I package a DJ Moore and Swift for Jamar? If you got the depth to do it, I would. If you can't win with this move, you got to step back and ask yourself, honestly, can you win getting rid of a wide receiver and a running back? And who your running backs, Cole? Like in a landscape where running backs are so hard to find, I can't imagine that being a great trade for you, but maybe it will be. Next super chat is from Gonzalez. He says, Smitty, got DK on a bye. Higgins is my running back too. You mean wide receiver too? Got Bateman and Tony bench. Who should I start? We're probably going to need to wait until we're later in the week, pal. Because, we need a lot more information than that walking, but I would say in general, like vaguely looking at this just at a glance, let's pull up the schedule here for week number 9 and break it down and do it live, pal. Hold on one second. So know that the bye weeks, guys, for this upcoming week are Detroit, Seattle, the Bucks, and the football team. So in case anybody is wondering who the bye weeks are for this week. So to answer your question, I would probably say Tony's injured right now. Guy's a walking injury. I'm getting that feeling that Tony cannot stay healthy. Just one thing after another. It feels like Barkley. Like everyone said, oh, Barkley's ankle injury was freak. No, it wasn't. It's the way he plays. He ran right into a guy, recklessly stepping on his foot. He ran right into him. It was reckless. It's a reckless use of your spatial awareness. And Tony's the same way. Comes right down on his arms like this. You got to know where your body parts are when you're on a field with other individuals. I know people are going to say that's hogwash, Smitty, but you watch Tony come down on the ball, just completely landing on his arms, and just, I don't know if he broke his wrist or what he did. He walked to the sideline, didn't come back in. I don't know if he came in at the end, but Tony looked pretty banged up. So I don't know if Tony's going to be even available for you. Higgins is a great wide receiver too. And so it comes down to whether Tony's healthy or not. I would play him over Bateman if he's healthy, but I don't know that he will. So let's address that later in the week. I do appreciate your super chat. Just traded Kamara, Beasley for Dalvin Cook, Madison. I do like that because Cook and Madison feel a little more secure because I know you got a top 5 to 10 running back no matter what. And top 1 to 5 if Cook's in there, but top 5 to 10 if Madison's in there. And while I love Kamara still and I'm not freaking out, that's a fair trade. I like both Cook and Kamara very, very close. So you get the backup, you're good to go. So nice move. I like that a lot. Rock out full PPR. What to do with Javonte Williams? I'm thinking of keeping Michael Carter, then trade Javonte Williams in a package deal. I don't mind that at all. I just don't know if anybody's going to buy Javonte because the disappointment's really, really low. So I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that I probably would say depends on the offer, but if you package Javonte, you will get more for Javonte. So package deals are a must when you're talking about guys that have questionable value, because no one's going to give you extreme value for a guy like Javonte or give you even close to what you feel you should be getting for him. So like if it was for a Mike Williams, so Javonte and a wide receiver like Cooks for Mike Williams, I'd do that. Like I'd go get a player that I feel like even when Javonte's popping off, you're okay because the guy you get's going to pop off like Mike Williams. Mike Williams is a great buy low. Hopkins is a great buy low. Those are all where my mind goes, but it does require you throwing Javonte with another player, pairing them together to go get a little bit bigger guy than maybe you're talking about right here. Thank you for the super chat, pal. Avi says those are unlucky, the Barkley injury and the Tony injury. No, they're not. That's exactly what I said, Avi. They're putting their bodies in awkward positions. If you watch the play that Barkley sprained his ankle on, it was not random. He ran right into another individual and stepped on his foot. And I'm tired of people saying that everything's always luck. Injuries are always bad luck. There are players that are injury prone for a reason. And if you watch their style of play, if you look at their injury history, Barkley dislocated or almost broke his elbow the exact play before he tore his ACL. It's not, Barkley's not a guy I expect to stay healthy no matter when he gets back on the field or not. And it's not that I'm not rooting for him. It's not that I don't like Saquon Barkley, but I don't trust him to stay healthy moving forward. And he probably, if I had to guess, won't play this week, but we'll find out. We will see. I imagine they'll wait until next week because they have a bye. Sit him one more additional week. So sit him 1 week to get 2, and then he comes back that next week. I traded for Aaron Jones last week because of the good week. The owner offered me Dillon for Melvin Gordon, and I keep Javonte. I like that. I like getting rid of Melvin Gordon for A.J. Dillon. Gordon's decent. He's valuable to an extent, but I'd rather have A.J. Dillon, especially if you have Aaron Jones. So I love that. And Aaron Jones, I love moving forward. He's kind of a crafty buy low still, and we'll talk about that in a minute once we get through these super chats. So the week 9 buy low, sell high portion will start right after I answer these. I'm going after AP. Overcome, I talked about that a lot at the beginning, so definitely check it out. Rewatch the beginning of this. But while everybody's going left and getting McNichols and AP, I'm going right and getting Derek Gore from Kansas City, Boston Scott above him, and Michael Carter above him. And if none of those guys are available, I go AP if I have to make a decision over McNichols for sure. But I'm going in a 2 QB or a dynasty league. I'm going Mike White over all of them, and I go on like a 15-minute rant on that at the beginning of the show. I have Kamara trade for Diggs and James Robinson. James Robinson's hurt, so I'm going to say negative. Negative on that. No. Keep Kamara. Don't freak out about Kamara. I'm going to do a psychology and fantasy football video on self-sabotage where a lot of you guys want to break up with the player before they disappoint you. Everyone's so scared of Alvin Kamara disappointing them. They're looking for reasons to get rid of him. They're looking for it. They're completely seeking out and looking for reasons to call his decline. And so, I don't hate McNichols. Chris wants to know why not McNichols. I don't hate him, but I just don't know that I feel like he's going to be like a volume workhorse type guy. No, I haven't WRM. If you see on screen, I got tons of them piled up. So I got yours on screen. I'm getting to it. Don't worry, pal. It's like right here. I'll get to it right now for you. Trade Mike Williams, Hawkinson for Kelsey. That's a close one. And if you need depth, if you've got depth, I would do that trade and go get Travis Kelsey. But Mike Williams had his bye week. I think he's a great buy low. Hawkinson's playing really good. To me, I'm going Travis Kelce if I'm in a vacuum, not looking at anything. But if you were in the opposite end of the spectrum and you needed multiple players, I could see Kelce for getting Hawkinson and Mike Williams as a really good deal. So I think that either way goes good. I don't think that one or the other is bad. Got Kamara, Henderson, and Patterson at running back. You should be pretty solid, bro. That's a great little running back stable you got. This one is from Amir. Pick 2, Bateman, Javonte Williams, Sutton, Renfro. Give me Javonte and Sutton for the time being, but it's pretty close. I mean, you could argue a lot of those things. Smitty, would you do Gesicki for Waller? I get Waller. Scott, if you like winning, I would probably trade Gesicki for Waller, because Scott, that is a darn good trade and darn good bet to make. I don't know why anyone in their right mind would doubt Waller so much after thinking he was going to be gold after his 17 targets or whatever the heck it was in week 1. And then, he has a string of bad games. There's some controversy going on in Las Vegas and coaching craziness going on, Gruden getting removed. And then, we knew there'd be chaos, and he was a good sell high. But he's also a good buy low, and he lives in both worlds. And because of this, I'm going to put him on the buy low list, because you're giving me a whiff of what's possible with Waller owners out there if they're willing to get rid of Gesicki, who I like. I don't hate Gesicki, but Waller, you draft Waller miles above Gesicki if you're drafting today. So easy call. Almost take a lap worthy, Scott, for asking, but because you're getting such a good deal, pal, I'd more so pat yourself on the back and run that victory lap, pal. You better accept that before that gets pulled. That's a great bet to make. Just lost Henry, have Carson. Oh, Barkley. Oh, God, you got hit hard. Javonte at running back. Sorry, pal. I feel bad for you, Rodney. Should I trade Metcalf for Pittman and Michael Carter? Absolutely not. While I like Pittman, while I like Carter, this is diluting the only big gun you have into two smaller guys that have potential, and I like them, but they have no shot at being the big gun that DK is, and I can't envision a team winning with that kind of loss and then getting rid of your big component, your big heavy hitter at wide receiver. I don't know what to tell you to do. Sometimes there is no answer. Sometimes it's more about, okay, don't just go giving your players away. WRM, I see your other one right here. I'm going to put you right here, pal. I would say no, that's not the deal. There's other deals to make. Trade Barkley and a wide receiver and go get a very doubted other running back. Try and get CMC and take a stab at that. Since he may or may not play this week, he could disappoint his owners, and you could give away Barkley and something else to potentially get him. I don't know, something like that. But I'm certainly not dividing that up, Rodney. Give me another option if you got one, but that is not the move to make. That is not the move to make, pal. Derek, just appreciate your super chat. Started 1-3. I'm now on a 4-game winning streak, 5-3. That's my boy right there, Derek. Team is Josh Allen, Kamara, Hunt. That was a blow. Fournette's playing decent, stepped up for you overall. Pollard, Josh Jacobs, a good sell high candidate potentially. Just so you know, I don't believe in him staying there the whole year for you, delivering. I doubt the man. Wide receivers are Hopkins. He should be hopefully okay with his 10 days of rest that he's currently in the middle of. Beasley's looking solid. Amari Cooper's looking good, but a good sell high candidate. I like your team, Derek. That's a good squad. Kamara is not really sellable to a lot of people, but if you do run into an opportunity where you can get like Aaron Jones and Mike Williams, take advantage of it. Those are good opportunities. Or, a Diggs and another running back that, you can't get Henderson anymore, but those types of running backs, there are very few of them out there. But people have slumps and bad weeks and people freak out. So it's a good opportunity week. Number 8 was such a bad week overall. It opens the doors to some buy low players that we can attack. So there's always some good from a bad week in terms of that. We can go attacking players, but trade Josh Jacobs high, trade maybe Jacobs and Cooper for one big gun, try and get a Aaron Jones. For some reason, and we'll talk about this in the buy low, sell high, for some reason people are worried about Aaron Jones because of Dylan. Doesn't matter if Aaron Jones did well, people are still freaking out. They're still freaking out. How do you feel about ETN in Dynasty? I like him, but you got J-Rob, you got question marks there, but I like him. I mean, is he a running back 3? Yeah. Is he a running back 2? You can't count on that. But a running back 3, yeah. And some people dropped him, and you can pick him up and keep him for like a late round in a lot of keeper drafts. Or give someone a little bit of now value, like Brandon Cooks. They might give you an ETN, and you just have a nice little hope that he does something. So yeah, I don't mind that at all. Also have Davante Adams, says Rodney. Rodney, I completely forget what we were even talking about. Let me go looking for that. Steve Factory, I see your super chat. I appreciate that. Rodney, let me go look for your question because it's in one ear and out the other immediately. I don't even know whose team I was looking at. Rodney. Where's Rodney's super chat? Rodney. Oh my God, Rodney, you're way up there. Here we go. Rodney. Just lost. Okay, so you got Davante Adams and Metcalf. Yeah. You could divide one of those up, Rodney, but you got to go after a Mike Williams and a good running back. You got to go after, a Davante Adams, or not Davante, DeAndre Hopkins and like a Fournette. You got to get something solid for your wide receiver, but selling one is not a bad idea at all. You just got to make the right move, bro. We selling high on Mixon or Hendo? Absolutely selling high on Mixon if you can. He didn't have the volume, but he scored the touchdowns. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen to running backs I like, and you can't just hate a guy who didn't get enough work but still produced. It happens all the time. Sometimes guys have a nose for the end zone. Sometimes guys don't get used a lot, but they do really well. Aaron Jones is a good example of a guy that does similar to that and does well. He's efficient. But I still feel like there's injury risk. I still feel like something's happened to Mixon. He's not quite as good as he was in prior years, as he was abused and hitting 8-man front after 8-man front. So I feel like we're seeing a lesser version of him in the most optimal situation he's ever had. It's bad timing is what it is. Hendo, we only sell high. We'll talk about selling Henry high or Hendo high, but you're only selling Darrell Henderson if you're getting awesome value because he is good. He's getting so much volume. He's every bit as good as I predicted 2 years ago when my bull prediction busted and fell flat on its face. What a big bust prediction Darrell Henderson was for me that year. I didn't know McVay was going to screw him for 2 straight years. Now we get to see what this guy is all about, and I love every bit of it. I'm totally enjoying watching Darrell Henderson deliver. And the one thing I've come to a conclusion over the last couple weeks is that McVay is hard to trust, but what he does do is not trust new faces within the first year of being on the squad. That's why Darrell Henderson didn't get run. That's why Malcolm Brown was used. And I feel like Sony Michel, no one's threatening Darrell Henderson but Darrell Henderson. If Darrell Henderson gets banged up, he could lose touches. Maybe Sony Michel continues to get the work. Who knows how that could work out if he gets banged up, but if he doesn't get banged up, it's his job, and he's delivering, and he's doing amazing things. So I love Hendo. Only trade him high. Do not trade him low. Trade Henderson for Cook. I do take Dalvin Cook. That is the definition of trading a player playing amazing at optimal value, buying another player at some sort of dip, and I don't know why he's dipping in that owner's mind, but try and get Alexander Mattison. Is crucial for you to have both. WRM says, I have Brady, Hill, Hopkins, Eckler, Najee, Hawkinson, Mike Williams, AJB as my main starters. If I do that trade for Kelsey, do I have other upgrades in mind? So if you get Kelsey, and I believe you were going to send, what was it? Mike Williams and who was it? Hawkinson? I think that was the trade. I like Hill. You can't sell high on Hopkins. People are scared of him. You could maybe sell high on Eckler. I like Najee. I don't think you do need to make a move. You've got a really strong squad. I would start Eckler, Najee, Hopkins, Hill, Brady. You get Kelsey in there, AJ Brown. You don't need to make a move. You're at 6-2. Go on cruise control and walk into the playoffs and have one of the most, I think, well-rounded teams probably in your league, unless you're in like a 3-man league. That team is absolute straight fire. Rodney says, I also have Davante Adams. That was already addressed. Thank you for that super chat. Overcome. said, as a J-Rob owner, I'm starting Hyde or Carter. I like Carter. If Carter, I'll probably start Carter if I'm you, but Hyde's not a horrible option, but I just don't know what we're getting yet out of that. So I'm going to stay away and go with the guy that just proved that he could produce baby Alvin Kamara numbers when Mike White is under center. So hopefully Mike White does get another start. I believe he's already named a starter. Best show on YouTube. Thank you, Con. I appreciate that, pal. I appreciate that. It means a lot. I think I answered that question. Okay, we're getting to the buy low, sell high. I think I answered all the super chats. If I didn't get to yours, would you please tell me, and I will go searching for it and throw it on screen. I think I did get to them all so far, and if you got any more, drop them, and I will definitely get to them. Made it back home from AZ. My team looks bad after Ridley and Henry's news. It's brutal. I'm sorry, Jalen. You probably shouldn't travel in the middle of your fantasy season because I believe it's bad luck now. So that is, to get hit by both of those, that is tough, man. I feel bad for you, pal. We're here for you. Play DFS. Go to smitty1.com, play Underdog Fantasy, use my promo code, and start doing weekly stuff where you have all the information you have. You can play a $5 or $10 contest, bro, for week 9 only. Draft the optimal fantasy best ball team. It'll start all your guys, and you can win big prizes. And sometimes you have a bad year, but DFS is here to save the day, because every week you can play Underdog Fantasy by going to smitty1.com, pal, and it's a way for you to get involved in fantasy and not feel like crap, you know. Zinski, I missed yours. I'll go looking for it. So what can you get in turn for Mixon running back wise? I don't know that. I don't think you can. You can't really get a swap 1-for-1. The running back landscape is crazy right now. You could maybe get a Henderson, but I probably doubt it right now. I'd rather have Henderson than Mixon. JT's too high, but you give a little something, you can get an Aaron Jones. You give a little something, you can maybe get a JT. You can maybe get an Eckler, but you have to give something. There are no really running back equivalents to Mixon that you can just go trade for. Let me pull up a set of rankings here and see if I can come up with another idea for you. But it's pretty hard to envision you doing a 1-for-1. Rest of season ranking look at running backs. I would say Swift potentially, and I do like Swift a tiny. They're about even. McCaffrey, if you want to take a stab and run that risk, and McCaffrey might be available. Cordero Patterson's potentially in that ballpark. Past that, Eli Mitchell feels a little too risky to swap Mixon for, but I do like Eli Mitchell. I don't know that I trust Shanahan fully to make that swap 1-for-1. But those are the kind of moves that I think you could maybe pull off. Oh, you got Hendo and Gibby. Sorry, I didn't see that part of your question yet. You already have Hendo. Wide receivers are Ridley, Evans. Sorry about Ridley. 8-0. You're looking good. At 8-0, I might go after CMC, buddy. I might go after CMC if I'm you. But you have a good squad. You don't have to really make a move. QB, thank you for the super chat. QB, Murray, Carr. Running backs are Taylor, Darrell, Monty, Barkley, Javonte, Jefferson, Cooks, Higgins, Judy, Tony, Myers, Higbee, Knox. Suggestions. I'd probably say you hold tight with Murray. You can't sell him low. Taylor, I love. You could divide Taylor up if you must, if you feel like you got to. But I try and trade Barkley and Cooks for running. Get out of that risk and try and get a potential, I don't know, Swift or Darrell or Aaron Jones somehow. Aaron Jones would be a great fit for the squad. I would easily give up a Judy and a Barkley and a Higgins, a Barkley and a Cooks, a Barkley and even Higbee if you had to throw him in there and put Knox in there when he's ready to roll. Pick up another player, throw Montgomery and Darrell in. You could divide Taylor into Aaron Jones and a Mike Williams or something like that. I would definitely look to explore that if you can. Mike Williams is a good trade piece this week because you can go to the team with Mike Williams, add him in, try and get an Aaron Jones and give up one player and give both of them. Then you got Mike Williams, you got Aaron Jones, Mike Williams and Swift. Mike Williams and whatever counterpart you could have, and have those two players for your one if you need to divide it up. Love your show, Smitty. Everyone leave a thumbs up. Thank you, Jalen. I appreciate you, pal. James Devlin's walking in. Smitty, good evening. I need extreme help as always. James, drop your question and let's get to it. Zinski, I missed you. Let me go looking for Zinski's question real quickly, guys. Give me 1 second, and then we're going to get to the buy low, sell highs. Zinski, where is Zinski? Don Draper, did I get that one? Just traded Kamara. Yep, I got that one. Zinski, here we go, Zinski. I'm sorry, pal. And did I get to this one? DJ Moore and Swift for Jamar. Yeah, I did. Zinski, man, I missed you. How are we starting? Are we starting the boy Mike White over Burrow? No. No. I like Mike White, pal, but we're not going there in redraft. We're talking about dynasty. We're talking about scooping up Mike White, making sure he's on every roster in dynasty or 2 QB leagues. Burrow is a top 6 quarterback. Burrow's in a whole different category. Burrow's where Mike White dreams to be. Burrow's already there. Burrow's the man, the myth, the legend already. So Burrow's going to get his own song on the show during the offseason. So how's that? CEH or Michael Carter? Give me Michael Carter rest of season right now, pal. Traded Woods and Gibby for D-Hop. Love it. Love it. Drink up and smoke them if you got them, says Captain Spock. Okay, let's get to the buy low, sell high. We're going to put buy low over here, sell high over here, and we're going to toss all the names right into the center here, okay? And then we're going to get to it. So we'll put all the names over here. Anybody down this low has not been ranked yet, not put in the proper category. Some players can live in both categories, and we'll make a duplicate copy if such players exist. 241 of you in the room. Please hit the thumbs up on your way in the door. At least give me an equal amount of people in here a thumbs up. It helps the channel, spreads the word. Buy low, sell high. Let's break it down. Number 1. Oh, I got to put Waller on this list. Waller needs to be on this list because Waller is a baller. And I was selling high all year, but now we've reached that tipping point, and everybody says, you're wishy-washy, Smitty, on some of these guys. No, I'm not. It's called adjusting and adapting. If you don't adjust and adapt, you don't know how to play fantasy football, because Waller could be a sell high one moment and become a buy low the next moment. So let's start off with Waller. Waller is a great buy low because we just saw evidence in this very chat, in this very live stream, where someone said, should I trade, who was it? Who was the tight end he was going to give up? Gesicki. Should I trade Gesicki for Waller? That is borderline. That is borderline take a lap worthy, people. Borderline take a lap worthy. Gesicki for Waller. That's a home run. That's a slam dunk. That's a must-have. Get Waller. I should have made him take a lap at the time. Who was that? Speak up. Don't be shy. Taking a lap's healthy. Puts hair on your chest. It's okay. Waller is one of the best buy lows right now, especially at the tight end position, because people are tired of him. People think he's already dropped off. Time to go get Waller, because apparently you can get him for Gesicki's. So go do it. Go do it now. Go do it live. Next up is Josh Allen. Look, he had 3 TDs. He ran for a TD, threw 2 TDs. Didn't have 300 yards, but had a good 200-yard game in one half, essentially. He did nothing in the first quarter. He freaked his owners out. I believe a lot of his owners might say to themselves, I worry that he could do this again. And you might want to go poke it around to see if Josh Allen isn't getting the respect he deserves, which is number 1 overall quarterback respect over Mahomes, over Kyler, over everybody. Josh Allen's my number 1 quarterback. If I was drafting today, don't tell a single soul, but I would take this man in the late 3rd round. I wouldn't bat an eye. I don't care what anybody thinks about my middle round quarterback drafting. Josh Allen's a difference maker when you're making trades right now for week 9 on. All that matters is weeks 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Doesn't matter what anybody's done in the past. What do you think of Josh Allen moving forward? I'll tell you what I think. Buy free. Diggs hasn't even broken out yet. Imagine when Diggs gets to form. Josh Allen's going to be unstoppable, and he's going to carry people into the fantasy football playoffs. Mark my words. We've got 2 super chat interruptions. Captain Spock, I appreciate it. I always don't mind these super chat interruptions. Smitty on fire tonight. Thank you, Captain Spock. I'm doing pretty good, hopped up on NyQuil, I must say. Smitty, any suggestions on how I should improve my team? QBs are Herbert, Burrow. I don't know if you start 2 QBs, but those are fire. If you don't, trade one of them. If you do, keep them both. AK, Taylor, Eli Mitchell, Barkley, wide receivers are CD, Deontay, AB, Higgins, and Devontae Smith. Tight end is Noah Fant. Keep CD. AB, you can't sell high. Higgins, you could potentially sell high. Deontay, you could potentially still sell him high. Eli Mitchell, you can sell high. Keep AK and Taylor. Burrow, because you've got CD, I don't trade the running backs because I don't think you have to, the AK and Taylor pieces. Keep them. Keep Burrow, keep AK, keep Taylor. I would sometimes tell people to take one of those running backs, divide them into an Aaron Jones and Mike Williams, like I've said, as a good example. But you don't need to because you got Eli Mitchell, who I think you could hold, and I think you could stand pat. Your team's good enough to stand pat. But I would explore Eli Mitchell and Deontay for an Aaron Jones. I would explore Eli Mitchell for a Jefferson who just had a bad game, and I've got people messaging me, hey, Smitty, texting me, Smitty, should I be worried about Jefferson? Why? Why would you be worried about Jefferson? Because of one bad game? You can't have one bad game now without having people getting out their Smitty voice and saying, Smitty, I can't believe Justin Jefferson had a bad game. Should we trade him? Should we trade him, Smitty? After one bad game. Apparently Justin Jefferson can be had. Diggs can be had. Eli Mitchell, I absolutely love. Eli Mitchell. But we need to explore selling him high because we don't know if Shanahan will turn to Jeff Wilson. We don't know if Eli Mitchell can stay healthy. And I see that media's in here, but media is saying, what's with the immortal Mike White at QB Carter? I was going to check down. What are you saying, Gage? I know media's in here, and I know media's going to say, hey, Eli Mitchell's the king. I like Eli Mitchell. I love Eli Mitchell. I'm not saying I don't love him, but if you play fantasy football long enough, you know that every rookie running back is susceptible to a rookie wall. They're susceptible to injuries, and I think even media can be honest and say that if he got banged up and Jeff Wilson came in, Shanahan is capable, whether we like it or not, whether we agree or not. Shanahan is capable of saying, go, Jeff Wilson, go. And so for that reason, Lee, I would trade out of Eli Mitchell using Deontay or Higgins to try and get one bigger gun for this team. And I wouldn't be even opposed to going after DeAndre if you want to take a little bit of a risk and then have that CD Lamb, DeAndre Hopkins. But Mitchell's a really good player to hold. Your team's very good. I don't know that you even need to make a trade, pal. I'm in shambles. I traded away A.J. Brown and Pittman for Ridley. Oh, man. Yeah, that's tough, man. You know, A.J. Brown's a dog, bro. I still have Diggs, Williams, Mike Williams, and Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas may step in for you. I wouldn't be extremely worried. There's nothing you can do. A.J. Brown would have been a nice piece to have with Williams and Diggs, but you know what? Michael Thomas could step up and think about it this way, man. Maybe if you could step out from afar, from above, and look at your scoring all year, like if you could get distance and see your entire game log and all your scoring, and you could just float up above, be stress-free and evaluate it. Maybe, you know, just have hope that Michael Thomas, game for game, could have hung with Ridley or could have hung with A.J. Brown enough to where it's like 25 points, you know, at the end of the year or something. So relax a little bit. You can't change the past. It is what it is. You still got really good wide receivers. Don't freak out. You could explore selling. You still have Diggs. You can't sell those guys high, unfortunately. Maybe you could sell Michael Thomas somehow. But I wouldn't freak out. Your team's still very, very good. MT coming in swinging. He could. I wouldn't hold out hope that he will. Or I would have hope that he will, but I wouldn't expect it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Back to the buy lows and sell highs. Michael Pittman is a great first sell high to throw onto the board. And I don't dislike him. I'm not suggesting that he won't do well. I just feel like there is an opportunity to explore and test trade waters when a player like Michael Pittman drops fire, and Michael Pittman just dropped fire. It's never wrong. It's never disrespectful to entertain trade waters for a player blowing up, because what if you get somebody like DeAndre Hopkins for Michael Pittman right now? Some might say they wouldn't do that. They're worried about Hopkins. Oh, his volume's down. He only has 7 TDs in 8 games. What a shame. You know, he's been banged up. That is part of the risk. That's why you can acquire Hopkins at Michael Pittman potential value, let me remind you, in case you're like, but he's hurt. Why would I trade for a hurt guy? How could you get Hopkins at Michael Pittman value if he wasn't hurt, is my question. The answer is you can't. So you either take the risk, you roll the dice, or you keep a guy like Michael Pittman. Maybe you trade into a Mike Williams, who I will put up next as a buy low. I would take Mike Williams over Michael Pittman. And you could call me crazy, and I wouldn't blame you for liking Michael Pittman. I like him. I like him a lot. Again, back to the point of all this. Buy low, sell high is not to say we believe in him, we don't believe in him. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with, can you get enough value from guys over here, accumulate one or two of them for one of them to make sense that in the end, you've given away guys you believe in potentially for more guys that you believe in that other people don't see popping back and having a great bounce back. Mike Williams, great team, great offense, proven to do well but be inconsistent. You buy him at a low value because he is injury prone, but I take him over Michael Pittman. And for a long time, if you talked about Mike Williams as anything but a top 7 wide receiver, you were laughed out of rooms. So how quickly people change, and you get told, why would you trade Pittman for Mike Williams? Can you imagine saying that in week 3? Can you imagine? Zeke Elliott had a subpar week. Potential buy low. I don't think you'll steal him away. I think I ranked him number 4 or 5 going forward in a week 8 on mock draft. And I have to say, I got a lot of negative comments by having him in the top 5. So my thinking is that people are worried about him a little bit. I am a little worried about the usage, especially after Derrick Henry breaking. And we know that Zeke Elliott's probably the next guy in the league that has the kind of concerning volume that breaks a running back. But I feel like he can get through this year because he does have his workload divided. Derrick Henry was on a collision course for him. I don't know if he crossed it or not, but for 1,000 total carries within less than a 2.5 year span. Derrick Henry was on a collision course for 1,000 total carries, not on his career in the NFL, in the last 2.5 years, under a collision course with 1,000 total carries. Zeke Elliott's had like 1,400 or 1,500 total carries his entire career. It's a very different spread out amount of workload, but it is a concerning number that the players that have Zeke Elliott's carry totals aren't relevant anymore. You don't get to his numbers and still stay relevant. So it's concerning, but he's still a potential buy low, especially if you get Pollard. There is just more risk with him than some of the other players I do have to leave out there and drop that little warning that Zeke Elliott has tons of mileage, and we see what mileage does to players. Start White over Teddy Bridgewater at Superflex? Abso-freaking-lutely. And I'm starting Mike White over a lot of quarterbacks that are shady, walking into week number 9. So I do pick up Mike White in scenarios where quarterback, is thin for you. I do like Mike White in redraft in those scenarios. I'm just not sitting a Burrow or a Stafford or, those types of guys. So I don't want to hear that kind of talk. Okay, so next up, so we got Michael Pittman is the first sell high on this list. Stephon Diggs is an excellent buy low, just like his counterpart Josh Allen. Look, Josh Allen's had big games. Stephon Diggs hasn't had those monster games. He's been solid, he's been good, but he can be had at pricing that's crazy good. Like, go get Stephon Diggs at outside top 5 wide receiver value. You'll have a very easy time doing so. One Love's got a super chat interruption here. One Love dropping the super Smitty. My man, have Mahomes, Zeke, Gibby, Javonte, Darrell Williams, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Kelsey. That's fire at the end of your team there. You've got Chase, Jefferson, and Kelsey. That is absolute fire. Zeke at the top half, Mahomes at the top half. Yeah, you got some questions in the middle, but bro, that happens when you build a team like that, and you're 3-5, which is crazy. Most points scored against, which is awful and bad luck. Hang tight or make a move. Will you make the playoffs if you win a majority of your games walking forward? The answer is yes. I do think you can hang tight, but don't ever not try to make moves like Gibby and Waddle for Swift. You know what I mean? Like, you can make a baby move and get out of the risk of Gibby. Gibby's not doing you any good. Why not trade him across position? Why not go for a Hopkins? Why not trade Waddle and Gibby for Hopkins? Why not trade Waddle and Gibby for a doubted wide receiver like that? That is a move that could help you, One Love, take that next step. Don't be super focused on, I got to get a running back if I get rid of Gibby. You might put Gibby on the bench anyway, so get rid of Gibby for a wide receiver. Because cross position confuses people. People might give up more on the wide receiver front than give you in a running back. And if you're not using Gibby anyway, you're running that risk of missing an opportunity because you're worried about not getting a running back. Who cares? Throw Javonte in and be done with it. 1-7, QBs Kyler, Zeke, Cordelli, and Carson. Wide receivers are Diggs, CD, Thielen, DJ Moore, Pittman, Waddle, Kittle, Knox, Ertz. Average 140 points per game. You're lost. I don't blame you. Like, that shouldn't be a 1-17. You can't trade Kyler. Believe in him. He will come back. You could trade Zeke. We'll see about it in a second. Cordero is a good sell high, but also a good hold. Carson was a disappointment. An avoid for me, but, you can't really get rid of him right now, so I can't say, like, sell him. What are you going to get? Diggs, CeeDee Lamb. Diggs has underperformed. CeeDee's been very good. Thielen's been playing great lately. DJ Moore. You've got a plethora of wide receivers. You've got Ertz potentially. You can start Kittle coming back. Can you trade Kittle and Thielen for one running back? Can you trade Kittle and potentially Cordero for an Aaron Jones? Can you go after a JT using Cordero or using Cordero and Thielen? Can you go get a Justin Jefferson for Thielen and potentially maybe you can give up Ertz in that scenario or Waddle. Poke around at Aaron Jones, poke around at JT, see if you can get that kind of player upgraded from Cordero using Kittle, using DJ Moore and Cordero for Aaron Jones. Those kind of moves I think can give you that little tiny edge. And don't trade Cordero for a guy that's like not had his bye though. You do need to win, and you need to win now. Christian McCaffrey, I know you can't wait, but maybe you give up DJ Moore and that'd be tough, but I don't know. Christian McCaffrey may or may not come back this week. I probably would take the chance because you're 1-7. Why not take a swing that he gets back into the lineup this week? But you'd have to do it now because if news breaks that he is coming back, you won't get him. And he may not, so that's why you can get him now. Gordon to rehab for his DUI. Sincerely, Javonte. Says overcome. Trade Michael Pittman for Deontay or AJ Brown. Or trade a $5 bill for 5 ones or a $100 bill. It's like, just casually throw an AJ Brown in there. Trade Michael Pittman for Deontay or AJ Brown. Of course I'd take AJ Brown. Chris, I'd do it now. I'd do it live. Go get AJ Brown, my man. If you can make that happen, of course. Pittman for Deontay is very close, very arguable. I would say you side with the one that does your fancy, pal. I think Deontay's got a little more upside, but a little more risk. Pittman's playing well. Waller, Mitchell, or Cook, and I would give up a little more with Pittman to get AJ Brown, I might add. Waller, Mitchell, or Cook, Madison. Waller, Mitchell, or Cook, Madison. Very, very even, and depends on, you got Freiermuth. It depends on what your rest of your team is built like, Josh Sherman. I probably would go Cook and Madison. You got the duo. You're locked in. I'd rather go Freiermuth and Cook and Madison than go Waller and Mitchell. Final answer, and pretty easy one for me to decide on. I think it just took me a second to process it because I've got the pandemic, so I'm a little foggy brained. I'm 5-3 in a 12-team standard. Lost Ridley and Henry. I have Murray, CMC, D. Harris, Hubbard, McNichols, Hawkinson, Woods, Ruggs, Emmanuel Sanders is my season lost. You're 5-3. Ridley, Henry. Your season's not lost, but I'm not gonna beat around the bush. You're asking me for my honest take. You need to take CMC and the upside of him coming back and turning it into a Mike Williams and Aaron Jones, like I've spoken about all night. You have to get a duo like that for Christian McCaffrey. You have to get two undervalued players that can be monsters. Otherwise, you are probably not going to make it the distance. I'm just being honest. CMC is your ticket out. Damien Harris, you could also sell potentially high. Maybe you trade, think of this. Maybe you trade, let's say Aaron Jones and Mike Williams were on the same roster. You trade CMC, you get both of them. Okay? Then you end up getting Damien Harris, you end up getting DeAndre Hopkins. And then they all start firing on all cylinders. I mean, that could work for you. Then Ridley comes back. Like, that is putting together a fighting chance, in my opinion. And I appreciate your super chat. Got Allen. And play DFS. Go play Underdog Fantasy at smitty1.com. Click on the Underdog banner. You can deposit like $10 and then play like a $5 contest and draft just for week 9. And there's huge prizes, bro. Like, it's a way to get skin in the game, a fresh skin amount of skin in the game, so that you're not, using week 1 and 2 and preseason decisions. You know everything you know now. You get to go in and draft for week 9 in a week 9 only contest, or also prize picks. If you go to smitty1.com and pick on prize picks, you can do the props over yards on Aaron Jones. Let's say it's like 65 yards rushing. Do the over on that. It's so fun doing the prize pick over-unders and going to smitty1.com, clicking on that Underdog Fantasy. And it also helps the channel out a ton if you use my promo code Smitty or go through smitty1.com and click on either prize picks or Underdog. Go do it. And it's a way to save kind of the fun on Sundays, to have more skin in the game. It's fun, man. Okay, so Jameer says, I got Allen, Taylor, Jacobs. Hit the thumbs up if you're just coming in. I appreciate it. It helps the channel, helps us grow, and I'm glad to have a lot of new viewers in here tonight. We're at 280 people in the room right now. Keep it coming. Appreciate you. Pitch your tent. This is your new home, your new source for fantasy football goodness. I'm live every single Tuesday and Thursday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern here on the channel. I'm live every midnight, Friday and Saturday night. We're live all the time here on the Fantasy Football Show, and we drop videos every single day. So, and I'm on Spotify video as well, so go check it out at smitty1.com. All my stuff is at smitty1.com, so get over there right now. This question is from Jameer. I got Allen, Taylor, Jacobs, Javonte, Barkley, Diggs, Mike Williams, Ridley, Michael Thomas, Judy, Tony, Hunter Henry. How does this team look? Running back upgrade ? Okay, Josh Allen, fire. Jonathan Taylor, fire. Could you divide Taylor up into what we've been talking about? Mike Williams, Aaron Jones, absolutely I would, if you think that's what you need to win comparative to the other teams that you got that you're playing against. Barkley's a great, or not a great sell. He's a sell. He's a must sell. And he's coming back, so you probably can sell him. Judy and Barkley for who? I trade Barkley for Swift in a heartbeat. I give up other players to get out of that mess. Give me Swift, even though Swift is a risk. Give me Aaron Jones all day. I could probably get Aaron Jones using Barkley and Judy, using Barkley and Tony if he's healthy, using Michael Thomas and Barkley to get Aaron Jones, to get a guy like JT. You already have JT, but you want two JTs. You don't want Barkley and JT. Christian McCaffrey's a potential option for you. He's potentially coming back. There's a risk, but it might be a risk worth taking for your squad and the way that you're built. So those are just a couple ideas that I'm coming up with on the fly, but definitely can keep thinking and we can keep talking about it. I got Herbert, Burrow at QB, Lamb, AB, Michael Thomas, Mooney. Wide receivers are Eckler, Swift, Javonte, Carson, Kelsey at tight end, 4 and 4. Should I try and make a move? Herbert, love. Burrow, love. If it's a 2 QB league, definitely keep both of them. If it's a 1 QB league, you need to send one of them packing and try and do some kind of bigger trade. If it's a 2 QB league, hold. And if it's a 2 QB league, go get Mike White and get him now. He should be the number 1 add in a 2 QB league, especially a dynasty league. Even a 1 QB dynasty league, he's a must add. I think at wide receiver, Michael Thomas is a good guy to move if you could pair him with like Swift and get like a top running back. I don't think you could get Kamara, but I'd try. I'd try using Swift and Michael Thomas. I'd even potentially use Eckler and, a wide receiver, maybe not Michael Thomas, but potentially maybe AB, Eckler and Michael Thomas, Eckler and AB to get a Cook. People are doubting Cook. People are trading Cook right now. You need Madison, if at all possible. Alvin Kamara, people are worried about Taysom Hill or the quarterback situation. You can maybe get an Alvin Kamara. Past that, Eckler's hard to upgrade, man. I mean, Najee, you're talking about Cook. Potentially Elliott. You could argue Eckler's as good as Elliott. You could argue Eckler's not far from Kamara. So, could you turn Eckler into an Aaron Jones and Hopkins? If you could do that, I'd do it right now. I do that right now because it gives you depth. It spreads out talent. You have two guys that can vie for winning the trade. Like Eckler versus Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones could win the trade all by himself. Let's say Aaron Jones went down. You'd still have Hopkins to fight against Eckler in your trade to make sense for you. Diluting talent, not to dilute it in crafty fashion for guys hiding on the buy low side that have way more value than people are giving them credit. So those are just a few options for you. And let's get back. Oh, we get two more super chats here, then we're getting back to the list. Steven says, trade Robinson and Deontay for A.J. Brown, McLaurin, Hubbard, MT, half PPR. Wow, trade Robinson and Deontay. James Robinson and Deontay for A.J. Brown, McLaurin, and Hubbard. Yeah. Because I worry so much about Robinson being banged up, I don't like that you're not getting a solid running back, but that's pretty good. And you have Eckler and Zeke already. Smash it. Easy call to get those two wide receivers. Fantastic. Fane says 5-3, 12 tied full. What kind of trade would you look for? Kyler, Tyreek, Thielen, Woods, Najee, J-Rob, Mitchell, Darrell Williams, Gesicki, Kittle. Okay, you got two tight ends. You could maybe trade Kittle. You could definitely trade J-Rob away if someone's willing to buy an injured player. Mitchell's a good sell high. Kittle and Mitchell, hard to sell two guys at the same team, but you could go Gesicki and Mitchell for some of the usual suspects we're talking about. Aaron Jones, JT, Eckler type guys I would look to buy. You already got Najee. I'd upgrade J-Rob and Kittle, J-Rob and Gesicki, J-Rob and Woods for an Aaron Jones, for a JT, for an Eckler. So any two of those, I would trade Gesicki and Woods for Hopkins in a heartbeat, or Diggs. Those would be fantastic moves, I think, to make out of the gate. And Derek just says, Henry owner has Henderson and Diggs. Should I trade Fournette and Jacobs for Diggs and Henderson? Bro, if you could pull that off, I'll write your name again on my door and marker, bro. That would be insane if you could pull that off. Diggs and Henderson for Jacobs and Fournette. I'll write it on my door, bro. Be honest, and I trust you. We start Mike White over Wentz. Maybe, bro. We'll talk about it. I love him. I love Mike White. Who says they're pitching their tent here? Slots. Or says, don't know about pitching a tent with a bunch of dudes around. Bro, pitch it. We're here. We're here for each other. This is your new home. Get your tent out, pal. Put it down now. Terry McLaurin, great buy low. Terry McLaurin is a top 6 to 12 wide receiver. And for some reason, because he's not maybe dropping the kind of fire you had hoped right now consistently, he's a good buy low. Quarterback situation's weird. The running game's kind of hard to figure. Football team is confusing. McLaurin's a great buy low. You need a wide receiver, and you've got a top guy like Hill. You can, if you need to make a trade, you have to make a trade to compete, not to make a trade, not just a trade to make a trade, not to trade Hill because I don't believe in Hill, not to trade a top wide receiver because I don't believe in them, but take a guy like Hill, divide him into McLaurin and a running back, McLaurin and a huge QB upgrade, something like that. I love McLaurin in that role of taking a top guy like Hill, getting McLaurin back, who quietly could hang with Hill. He won't beat him, but he'll hang with them, and you pair him with the running back, coming back to your squad, and you're looking good like that. I'm feeling okay. I'm hopped up right now on some NyQuil, so I'm sure I'll crash soon. I'm still under the weather. I'm still very out of breath. It may not seem like it. I feel like I'm in a rhythm. I kind of feel like I could also, if you guys seen, what's it called? Wolf of Wall Street, my favorite movie. Wolf of Wall Street, so good. But you know how he thinks he drove home really well? He drove home on the loot. He drove home, didn't dent the Lamborghini even one bit. The way he remembered it, and then when he went outside, he saw the Lamborghini all smashed up. I feel like that's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm on fire here on NyQuil and not feeling good. I'm out of breath. I'm not missing a beat. And I know in the morning when I rewatch the show, it might be a disaster. I might be sleeping here on the desk. The way I remember it could be very different because I'm not in my right state of mind entirely. Derrick, appreciate you being here. Anybody likes Wolf of Wall Street, drop a fire emoji right now. Best movie on the planet. I love Wolf of Wall Street. We need to get the Wolf of Wall Street guy on the show. I'm going to get on that. I'm going to try and interview, what's his name? I'm foggy with names. For some reason, I can remember player names pretty well, but right now I'm so foggy with how I'm feeling right now, and I'm still trying to get over everything. I can't remember certain things. Jordan Belfort. We need to try and interview Jordan Belfort on the show. That would be phenomenal. That would be amazing. There is Jordan Belfort. Grant just dropped it. Fire emoji if you like Wolf of Wall Street, best movie, and Succession. If you guys need a movie, you can. I give you permission to not follow me anymore. If you watch Succession and you don't absolutely love it, Succession on HBO Max, you can get a free 7-day trial on HBO Max. So go do it. Go to HBO.com. I'm sure you could drop a log in and create an account and get a free 7-day trial. If you don't like Succession, drop a thumbs up if you like Succession, or a fist emoji, or a thumbs up if you like Succession. It is such a fire show. It's like Wolf of Wall Street in a way, but about this family and these sons and a daughter trying to succeed and become the owner of this media conglomerate where this corrupt family owns this multimedia. It is so fire. Succession, guarantee you, it is as good as any sleeper I'm dropping right here. It's as good as Mike White. That's how good Succession is. So drop a thumb up or fist if you watch Succession and you know what I'm talking about. If not, get on that. That's your task for the night. Eli Mitchell. Look, Eli Mitchell is a good potential sell high. You can't buy him low. I'm not saying to sell Eli Mitchell at all if you can't sell him high, because he is very, very good. I worry enough about Shanahan to utilize him to get you something if you need it. He's a good opportunity. Same thing with Debo Samuel. Look, Debo's playing like fire, okay? But Debo, and you can't give and take. I hate that when people say take away that run and he wouldn't have any stats, or take away his 3 TDs and he wouldn't have any stats. You can't do that. But when I do watch Debo, I do know he's getting a long breakout touchdown, potential play, or in the case of week number 80, that really long run, almost had a touchdown, it was called back. But I feel like now's the time. He's injury prone. He's playing out of his mind. Now's the time to not sell him because you don't believe in him, but to sell him because you can go get a player like Alvin Kamara. If you package Debo with another running back that's not, at Kamara's level at all, but using Debo, you can climb a ladder. You probably shouldn't climb into a tier of player you probably shouldn't be able to climb into. Debo can go get you a Justin Jefferson after one simple week where Justin Jefferson doesn't do amazing and everybody and their mother starts reacting and overreacting about Justin Jefferson. You can use Debo not because you don't believe. Avi, for some reason, we're not eye to eye. I know he's different this week, but Avi, I'm telling you not to trade him unless you're going to benefit in a big way because you need to trade. Okay, so make sure you understand that, Avi. I'm not saying I don't like Debo. I know you love Debo, but you got to do it if you've got to do it. And if you don't have to do it, don't do it. It's simple. Trading a player like Debo isn't fun because he's playing great, but he's injury prone and he's at the complete peak. You will never get more for him than you will right now. And when you can take him and add another player to it and get a Justin Jefferson, why would you not do it? You know what I'm saying? If you can add something. Why are we selling Pittman? You're going to have to rewatch for that. I've already gone over Pittman and the reasons why and what you would do. It doesn't mean I don't like Pittman. Justin Jefferson, go get Justin Jefferson right now. Go buy him because, like I said, people are freaking out for some odd reason, thinking that, maybe he's going to start slumping, self-destruction. I like to self-destruct. I like to trade away a guy after one bad week because I feel like he's going to go on a downturn because there's so much downturn and destruction and disruption all around us. Ridley Henry makes people freak out. I have too many questions coming at me about Justin Jefferson, and do we sell him? What do we do with I'm getting the what do we do with Justin Jefferson comments. After 1 week, he's been one of the most consistent wide receivers. Why are we talking about this? Why is he on the list? I don't get it. In the middle of a move, but I'm here. I appreciate that, Robert. And good luck with your move. Aaron Jones, have talked about him enough tonight to not have to go over it and over and over, but Aaron Jones is a fantastic buy low. And why is he a buy low? Come off a pretty darn good game because of A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon is scaring people into making a reactive move, a knee-jerk reaction to get rid of a player that is absolute fire because people are concerned and they like to self-sabotage. People like to self-sabotage, and I don't know why. It makes no sense, and I don't agree with it. I don't condone it. Stop self-sabotaging. I'm going to create a psychology and fantasy football video on this very topic so that everybody can identify when they might be doing this and wanting to get rid of a player like Aaron Jones because they're trying to break up with the player before they disappoint them. It's abandonment issues with fantasy football players. I'm going to break it all down. It sounds like I'm joking, and I'm not. I'm going to do the psychology and fantasy football episode on self-sabotage, on breaking up with players before you need to because you're scared of being abandoned by the player. It's abandonment issues. It's a true thing. And I'm going to go over. I'm going to break it down from a psychological perspective. And if I got something on my shirt, why didn't you tell me? What kind of friend are you to not tell me I got something on my shirt? I dropped a part of my sandwich on there earlier. I'm a mess. What do we do with Kelsey? We hold him and we thank him. Jamar Chase. Guy has a touchdown and people are still not happy. They're still freaking out. Maybe the ride's come to an end. No, it's not. He's a top 5 wide receiver, and he's probably the number 1 dynasty wide receiver in fantasy football. You want to talk dynasty? Don't worry. I'm talking a lot of dynasty in 2022 and heading into 2022. In the months of November, December, I'm hitting dynasty like you've never seen on the channel. So get ready, buckle up. Justin Herbert had a bad game again. And I think a lot of people are going to sell him because a lot of people are freaking out. Initial reactions, initial temperature from the incoming amount of... I got a text line at heysmitty.com, which any of you could join if you want. Go to heysmitty.com, order my one-on-one text advice. But I'm getting a lot of people sending me message after message after message saying, hey, I'm a little worried about Herbert. Hey, Herbert didn't have a good game. Hey, will Herbert bounce back? Hey, what about Mike Williams? A lot of worry about Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. A lot of worry about the Chargers in general. And I think some of that comes from the fact that they were propped up, talked about. This is a MVP candidate in Justin Herbert, and he's not playing with like it all the time. So I'm going after Herbert all day long. If you've got a Mahomes, if you've got a Josh Allen, and you have to make a move, you could do a swap down into a Justin Herbert, and it could make some sense and buy you a Mike Williams. It could buy you someone like that. We got 2 super chats, one from Avi. Avi, appreciate you, pal. Avi's been one of the OGs here. And Avi, I don't know if I've sounded hard on you in the past couple of messages. I didn't mean to. Avi's an OG here. Avi's been with me for a long time, from the really kind of the beginning. So Avi, I want to thank you for that, number 1. Number 2, thank you for the super chat. 3 and 5, 8 teams, 2 flex spots. Herbert, AK, Mixon, wide receivers are Debo, Keenan Allen, Barkley, and Mike Williams, tight end Hawkinson, well-rounded. Sell Evans, AB, back, or Mixon. I would sell Mixon and AB if you could for another player, safer player. I don't know who you could get, but could you sell Mixon and Evans for a Cook? Could you sell Mixon and Evans for... I don't know if you can get anybody else that's... I would rather sell Barkley. Sell Barkley and Evans for Aaron Jones. Barkley and... No, maybe you got to go higher than that. I would sell AB and Barkley for Aaron Jones. You might be able to do that too. I would sell Barkley and Evans for... It'd have to be like a Najee Harris and Elliott or a Dalvin Cook level type player. I would sell Barkley across position, to be quite frank with you. I know you might want the running back, but I'd rather get a Hopkins who's very doubted right now, who's banged up, who's cheap for a reason. Go get a Hopkins. You could get a Hopkins. Go get a Diggs using Barkley. Go across position. I think you'll get more value across position for Barkley than you will going running back shopping, pal. Smitty, help me, please. Got offered, and thanks again, Avi. Get offered Adams and Gaskin for my Eli Mitchell. Adams and Gaskin for Eli Mitchell and Pittman and Burrow. Should I accept? Depends on who your quarterback is after you make this trade, but in theory, in general, I will say I like the looks of this trade in a sense. Pittman's valuable. I like Eli Mitchell a lot, but I do trade Pittman and Eli Mitchell for Adams. The question is Burrow your starting quarterback? Are you left with a Kirk Cousins? Are you left with a Darnold? I kind of need to know the answer to that before I give you a total stamp of approval, and I'll even hit the button Smitty approved on that if I like it. I told you it was looking rough for Ridley, bro. Keats, I don't remember the conversation, but if you did say something earlier, I don't know, kudos for seeing something. If you did, I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest, Keats, but I appreciate you being here and I trust you. And, maybe you said something when he first went out. I don't know. But really, definitely a big disappointment. Big disappointment. And Henry, too. Like, these are two big hits, and it sucks. Thank you, Avi. Appreciate you, pal. I have Josh Allen, Najee Harris, Eli Mitchell, Carson Williams, Chase. Nice. Rico. Okay. So this is Rico's question here. Rico said, okay, so you have Josh Allen. Yeah, I mean, I take Adams. You got Najee Harris, Josh Allen, Adams, Jamar Chase, Diggs. I do it. Your team's gonna be fire. You may have a hole here or two, but you fill it with what you got. You do what you got to do, and you do it live, pal. You do it live. Do it. I like it. Josh Allen's fire. Eli Mitchell for Pittman, full PPR. Give me Eli Mitchell, but you're not crazy to want to do either side of that, depending on what you need positionally. Kyler Murray, buy low. There's no selling high on him. So if you see him on here, you know it's going to be buy low. His injury isn't as bad as people I think are making it out to be, but it could get worse if he suffers a setback or steps on it wrong. I missed your super chat, Slayer. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me look. Hold on, Slayer. I'm looking, pal. Did I get that one? I didn't. Sorry, ET7. I got yours right here. Derek, I got yours. Did I get yours, Derek? Let me look at that in a second. Derek Just, I appreciate that. Derek Just says he just rejected it. LOL. Sorry, some of these came in really, really fast. And let me make sure I got all those. Slayer. Where's Slayers? I don't see Slayers. Deontay, AJ Brown. Slayer, can you paste in your question again? I don't see it in the super chats, pal. I don't see it in the super chats, but I will answer it. I just need you to paste it again. Joe with a super chat. Captain Crunch wants to know real quickly, get Chase for Lamb and Gibby. Yeah, I don't know. I like Lamb and Chase near even, but I probably like Chase a tad bit more, which is crazy for me to say because you guys know how much I like CeeDee Lamb. Hopkins, Amari, Cooper, Robinson for Chase and AJ Brown. Hopkins, Amari, and Robinson. Sorry, Derek, I didn't see this until now. Hopkins, Amari, and James Robinson for Chase and AJ Brown. Very close, man. I'd probably rather have Chase and AJ Brown, but it does obviously depend on what your running back situation is going to look like. But in general, I like that side a little better. But it's very close, and you're diluting those two other players in that three part of the trade, the three side, where the two players are lesser, but there's two of them, so it makes it hard to evaluate. But I take it if your running backs are strong. I'm 4-4 in a 10. Thank you, Derek. In a 10-team half PPR with Dak, Elliott, MT, Devontae Adams, Antonio Brown, Monty, Carson, Waddle, Gronk. What should I do? So you got Dak and Elliott. You're very Cowboy dependent there. MT, you're waiting on him. Adams, fire, but he's got a bye week coming up. Antonio Brown hurt. It sucks. Monty hurt. Carson hurt. Gronk's been hurt. You don't have the firepower, bro, to pull this off unless you trade away Elliott for an Aaron Jones and wide receiver. Look for a Mike Williams. I've been saying this all night long. It's an amazing package. If ironically your league, someone has an Aaron Jones and Mike Williams, and Aaron Jones and Diggs, and Aaron Jones and Hopkins, and Aaron Jones and wide receiver that I absolutely love. Or if you're talking Hopkins and, a Cordero Patterson potentially, I'd rather get more for Elliott than that, to be honest. Maybe the Adams side, you could go Hopkins and Cordero for like an Adams. You might have to go that route, but you need to divide up one of those big guns to get more players. There's probably not a big chance you're winning a league with that thin of a roster with all the injuries you had. You have to divide and conquer, pal. And there are ways to buy these guys over here. Get two of them for your one big gun. You just got to shop perfectly at the right time. Sometimes you got to wait another week too, but this is a great week. A lot of guys did bad. It's a great buy low. It's probably one of the best chances you're going to have is this week to strike. Sell high on Amari Cooper. I would. Depends on the offer, but I would. Again, cross position's great. You need a huge QB upgrade that can work. If you've got a mediocre quarterback, you can get into a Mahomes. People are doubting him. You could get into a Josh Allen. People are worried about him. You could maybe try and sell Cooper and somebody to get McCaffrey coming back. Sell, go after Aaron Jones has been the theme all night, but those are great. Those are great options in my opinion. Derek Just says Henry owner has Henderson and Diggs. Should I trade Fournette and Jacobs for Diggs and Henderson? Oh, I already said I'd put you on my door if you got that one right. I have Cousins and Tannehill. Who do I get to win the ship? Hill or Simeon or Tyrod? What about Mike White, pal? What about Mike White? Mike White. I don't like Simeon. Hill's okay. Tyrod, no. Cousins and Tannehill are better. But Mike White might be your answer, buddy. Mike White. Pick him up. In this scenario, why not? In this scenario, I like it. Captain Crunch, appreciate you, pal. Derek, appreciate you, buddy. Saeed says, is Jeffrey Wilson worth stashing? Oh, Jeff Wilson. I'm like Jeffrey Wilson. With the fogginess I'm still going through, man. I'm trying to. Who's Jeffrey Wilson? Oh, Jeff Wilson. Yeah, he's worth stashing. Yeah, pick him up, put him on your bench in hopes that he can come back. You have Taylor, Darrell Williams, who looked good tonight, but you saw Derek Gore get a lot of action, so you might want to pick up Derek Gore as well. Cordero, is that Cordero Patterson? You said Peterson. Oh, Adrian Peterson. Diggs, Jones, Thielen, Julio. Drop Henry for Wilson. I probably would hold Henry at the moment, bro. I probably would hold him, although you're in a bind where you got to make moves, right? What if Henry comes back that final week? I don't know if you got IR spots, but I suppose it's not an awful move, but I would probably drop Julio before I drop Henry right now until I get a better feel for that. If something gets shut down, like the idea of him coming back in the final week, I don't think he's coming back. It would be reckless to rush him back, but it's a potential thing that could happen, and it's worth holding on to him for right now. It's always good to hold off for a few days, let the dust settle before you make reactions like that, because we don't know for certain he can't return the final 1 or 2 weeks. And given the news just broke, what if something's wrong with the news? What if, hey, when they went in, things were better than we thought. He might be out 4 weeks. You got to let dust settle before you cut big guns. You just got to wait. You got to wait, pal, or it could burn you bad. Christian McCaffrey, Mike Williams, Jerry Jeudy for Dalvin Cook, Debo, and AB. CMC, Mike Williams, Jerry Jeudy for Dalvin Cook, Debo, and AB. Bro, that's hard to break down, especially with my mind right now being foggy. I'd rather go Cook, Debo, and AB. Yeah, I'd rather go Cook, Debo, and AB. Pretty easy call, I think. As long as you can get Madison, it's a lock. But if you can't get Madison, I think I still like it. No IR spots, then yeah, you gotta make a cut. Unfortunately, but I don't think you can cut Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? I just don't think you can do it yet. Because something could be wrong with the news report. Trade James Robinson or Fournette for Barkley. I'd maybe trade Fournette for him and then flip Barkley. I don't believe that Barkley's going to stay healthy, or at that cost, I'd be okay with it. But Fournette could give him a run for his money, but I don't think I'd trade James Robinson for him. He's still day to day. It's not like he's out. He's day to day. There's still some potential of him to come back. Last person to buy low is DeAndre Hopkins. I've talked about this. There's risk. Of course, there's risk with DeAndre Hopkins. He's banged up right now. But, you can buy him low. You can get him at a value you shouldn't be able to sniff because he's banged up. It's baked in. All of that risk is baked right in. Baked in, boys! Completely baked in. So don't worry about that. Buy him. And you can get him in a lot of these package deals we're talking about where you're trading your biggest player away. You're getting Hopkins and a player. You could trade away Kamara. You could have traded Henry, and I don't mean to put salt in wounds, but I'm trying to give examples. You could have traded Henry. This is why I said he was a sell high before double-digit weeks. You could have got an Aaron Jones and a Hopkins for Derrick Henry before. Dividing and conquering. Dividing into two players that quietly, because they're buy lows, could easily one-for-one be comparable to the player you're giving up is smart business. Taking a guy like Kamara right now, or the number one player in fantasy who was Henry, so Kamara, or whoever, Kamara, and dividing Kamara into Aaron Jones, you're not diluting for nothing. You're taking an Aaron Jones and a Mike Williams. You're taking an Aaron Jones and a Hopkins who individually, if they're on fire and back and healthy, could potentially give a run for their money in the deal. They could, like Hopkins could hold his weight against just Alvin Kamara. Aaron Jones could hold his weight against just Alvin Kamara. The point of 2-for-1s is to get two guys that can do that on your side, in your two, for the one you're giving up. That's the whole point in buy low and sell high. And as for some of the questions about like Cooper Kupp, do you sell him high? Look, you don't sell Cooper Kupp unless you have to. If you're 2 wins, 3 wins, and you got Cooper Kupp, you have to trade him. I'm not saying I don't believe in him, but if you have a stud like that you can sell for the moon and do exactly what I'm saying, get an Aaron Jones and a Diggs, get a Mike Williams and another really good player like Aaron Jones for Cooper Kupp, you have to do it. But if you're winning, you don't have to do anything because you're winning and you're on a course for winning. I'm buying low on Mahomes. I would buy low on Mahomes. Man, this stain is bothering me. Looks like mayonnaise or something. I don't know what was on my sandwich, but drop Fields or Lance for Mike White in Superflex. I'd maybe drop Lance for him, and I know that sounds crazy, but I'm feeling really good about Mike White. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you didn't watch the beginning of the show, go back to the beginning and watch it, because I went on a rant. I went on a massive rant on Mike White.
Time for a Smitty rant.
We won't do it again. Don't worry. We won't do it again. But I went on a rant. Cook is the best running back in fantasy rest of season now. Says, yeah, I mean, and Cook's the one you divide up, right? You take Cook, you take Kamara, you divide it into Aaron Jones and Hopkins if you can. Super chat from iSong. What's up, iSong? The newest member of my SleeperU.com lifetime membership. iSong. Jefferson for D-Hop and Judy. No, I keep Jefferson. Bye week free. No way. If you guys want to be a lifetime member to SleeperU.com, which is my content site that I've had the accumulation of my 19 years professionally, dropping bold predictions. That's where the Derrick Henry avoid prediction was, I believe, is number 1 or number 2 on the bold prediction list. That's where the bold predictions are. Those are the lifesavers. Those are the predictions where the magic is made. SleeperU.com. Oh god. Here, I'll use this. SleeperU.com, which is right here. You can go over to SleeperU.com. If you scroll down or click pricing or scroll down to the middle of the homepage, toggle onto the lifetime membership. Anybody that buys a lifetime membership tonight, I will give you a draft call for 2022, where I'll be on the phone with you for an entire hour. Use the hour as much as you see fit. If you want to talk half hour beforehand about your draft and then half hour drafting, we can do that. If you want me to draft the entire time on the phone with you or text you during the draft, whatever you want. You can even Skype. You can even share a screen and do like a screen share Zoom. All you got to do is go to sleeperu.com. Sleeper, the letter U, like a university, the college of knowledge for fantasy football. Sleeperu.com, and order a lifetime membership. Not only will you get content for life, you will get a draft call. How about Josh Allen, buy low? He's on here, pal. He's right here. Josh Allen, buy low. Josh Allen, buy low. Right here, pal. He's sitting there right there for you. Right there for you, Louie. Appreciate all of you. We've been live for what? Almost 2 hours now. It's a good show. We got 266 in here. Let's go to voicemails. Go to Instagram. Everybody drop a voicemail on Instagram, and I'm going to go to the voicemails. Here we go. Where's my button for voicemails? Where is that? It's right here.
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
We're going to voicemails, and we're going to break it down. Okay, so King says, what is King saying? She is sick of you. Who's sick of you? What are you talking about, King? What's King talking about? King, are you causing trouble in here, King? Don't cause trouble in here, King. Who's King talking to? Okay, so let's go to the voicemails. Drop them. Go to Instagram. Go to the gram, The Fantasy Football Show. Sell high or hold A.J. Brown. It depends what you can get. I do like him, but I do worry about this man getting way too much, focus from defensive backs. So I think he would be a very, very good guy to explore selling high or buying low. Okay, Ramos left a voice message. Let's go to it. Ramos, media, leave me a voice message question, pal. Okay, Terry Roberts, if you got a question, leave me a message as well.
Solid game.
Hold on.
Let's talk about Ty Johnson, man. 3 solid games, one before the bye. He's got to be on that pickup list because, if he can coexist with Michael Carter being that they're behind all the time, he's getting a lot of catches in that backfield. Ty Johnson might be a pickup too.
Yeah, Ty Johnson ain't a bad ad. I get it. I like Michael Carter a lot more.
Schmitty, where are these leagues, man, where these guys are selling people low? I want in. Me and my bro, we want in, man. We want these kind of deals that we're listening to. These are steals, man. Highway robbery.
Yeah, it depends on, you play in a league where people don't trade. They're not active people. You need to get more active people together. You need to get people that are itching for trades. You need to get people that make mistakes and they just want to trade. If you're playing with guys that are conservative, they basically don't even know what they're doing on draft day. I can tell you right now that Jamie, you're playing in a lot of leagues with guys that they don't prep. They're magazine drafters. They're afraid to make a move because people are going to make fun of them if they make the wrong move. So that's why you're not getting trades done. You're playing with the wrong people. Go to smitty1.com and click on my Discord. Join leagues with people in my Discord. We got over 1,000 people in the Discord. Just go to smitty1.com. Click on the blue Discord button, join up, and join leagues with some real ballers that like to trade, that like to talk, that like to move around players and get everything, mixed up mid-season, because I can understand right now why you're frustrated, but it is what it is, man. You got to play with better players.
I offered Barkley and Mike Evans for Dalvin Cook and that for Cooper Kupp, and also would I trade Barkley?
Wait, I got to rewind that in my brain.
I offered Barkley and Mike Evans for Dalvin Cook and that for Cooper Kupp, and also would I trade Barkley for DK Metcalf straight up?
Of course you trade.
Close one.
Of course you trade. No, it's not a close one, Avi. Trade Barkley for DK straight up and you don't look back. That ain't close at all. And the other one,
Barkley and Mike Evans for Dalvin Cook.
Barkley and Mike Evans for Dalvin Cook. Barkley and Mike Evans for Cook. I'd take Cook in a second, but then you say Cooper Kupp. So clarify that for me. Leave me a message. I know you aren't asking for Cooper Kupp too. Or are you saying you offered Evans and Barkley for Cooper Kupp, maybe is what you said. I'm not sure if that's what you said. Okay. So next question here. I'm going to the voicemails. Media, have you left a voice message yet? This is a question from Kumar. Says Jamar Chase, Debo, and Ridley, AJ Brown start 3. Jamar Chase. This has got to be old. Ridley. That's got to be old. Some of these are popping up like they're new. Next question here. This is from Jimmy.
What the heck, man? Ridley said he's leaving football.
Yeah. That's old, Jimmy.
Smitty, what do you do with shit lamb? Yo, Smitty, seriously. So I was planning on trade Joe Mixon and CeeDee Lamb and AB for Brandon Cooks, Mike Evans. What do you think?
Mike Evans.
So I was planning on trade Joe Mixon and CeeDee Lamb and AB for Brandon Cooks, Mike Evans.
No.
What do you think?
Brandon Cooks. What's Brandon Cooks doing? Like, no, you're not trading CeeDee Lamb. Don't trade CeeDee Lamb. Don't do it. Stand down, Ricardo. Stand down, bro. Stand down. No. Last voice message. I might call it a night after that. You guys are not flooding the voicemails, so I'm gonna step away and get some rest. I don't see medias. I don't see anybody's voice message. Instagram is acting a little funky because it's showing a lot of old messages and ranking them weirdly. Jimmy, I think I got Jimmy's already.
Jimmy Jacks, aka Auntie Slayer.
Oh, okay, Slayer.
5-3 tonight with the win. I got Lamar Jackson, Najee, Damien Harris, Hollywood Brown, Diggs, Kittle, Michael Gallup, D. Knox, Marvin Jones, Russell Gage, Alex Collins, Wentz, Seals Jones. Any trade suggestions? I'm 5-3.
It's tough for me to retain all that. Let me hear one more time.
Jimmy Jacks, aka Auntie Slayer. I'm 5-3.
Xavier or Ramos, you gotta bump it or something so I can see it.
Tonight with the win. I got Lamar Jackson,
Najee,
Damien Harris, Hollywood Brown, Diggs, Kittle, Michael Gallup, D. Knox, Marvin Jones, Russell Gage, Alex Collins, Wentz.
Damien and Hollywood. Try and send those guys away together for Aaron Jones. Try and send those guys away together for Justin Jefferson. Do a 2-for-1. Use the value they currently have propped up right now to get one guy. That's what I would do, and I'd do it live.
Hey, Smitty, should I trade Saquon for Cooper Kupp? And
yes.
If that dude doesn't accept it, then should I add like Amari Cooper? So like Saquon and Amari Cooper for Cooper Kupp?
Yep.
Or should I just do AJ Brown and Amari Cooper for Cooper Kupp?
AJ Brown. Try and keep AJ Brown out of it, but I would do Amari Cooper for sure. I'd add him. There's no way. What was the first one?
Should I trade
Saquon. There's no way he's doing Saquon for Cooper Kupp. First of all, Saquon's not even playing, pal. Right now. So Cooper Kupp's like a top 3 overall pick if you're drafting today. So you're gonna end a friendship on that offer. So don't offend too much. It's gonna waste your time and potentially send him in a trajectory of saying no. You don't want him starting to say no. And so you want to probably come with a stronger offer because he's not going to do that. Barkley and Cooper for Cooper Kupp. It's not a lot. It's a lot to give up that you're giving up starters, but Barkley's not playing. Cooper Kupp's dropping fire every week. Barkley's not playing, and he may not play this week. He has his bye week. That could be like 60 points right there. So yeah, I'm taking Cooper Kupp. Hopefully you've got the depth to do it. But yeah, but you're not getting Barkley for Cooper Kupp. But I appreciate your message. Ramos, I'm looking for you. Ramos, here it is.
What's good, Schmitty?
What's good, Ramos?
Now 4-4 after dropping 166 in my 10-man full PPR.
Beast.
Appreciate everything you do.
Beast.
I left a voice message up above and also some pics of my team as well.
Oh, bro, I don't know if I can go through all your team on. You got to ask a question, pal, but let's listen.
What's up, Smitty? What's
Ramos.
up, chat? Rate my team.
I got Stafford, Eckler, Jonathan Taylor. I got A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, C.D. Lamb. In the tight end position, I got Mark Andrews and Dallas Goedert. On my bench, I have Dak Prescott at QB2. On my bench, I also have Javonte Williams, Alexander Madison, Robert Woods.
Okay, you're losing me. Let's go to the next question.
Started out 0-4, now I'm 3-4.
Attaboy.
With a couple trades, let me know what you think.
I like it. I would say you're in the.
Started out 0-4.
I'd say you're like in the 7.5 to 8.0 range if I'm rating from 1 to 10. Always room for improvement. Doesn't mean that you have a bad team. It means you have a good team. You have a real well-rounded team, and I think if they all start firing on all cylinders, you're going to be doing pretty well, Ramos. I appreciate you. Way to come back from a bad start, getting a 3-4 record. Keep at it. Keep at it. Appreciate you. Keep that team easy, says Avi. Appreciate that, Avi, dropping in some knowledge. Terrified as a Mahomes owner. I buy Mahomes on the cheap. I wouldn't. I mean, I know he's looking questionable, but it's a good opportunity to buy because people are freaking out about him. You know what I mean? So you're not buying at old Mahomes value. And as I said from the beginning, even after week 1 and 2, when people were freaking out about Josh Allen's slow start, Josh Allen is the number 1 quarterback in fantasy football. He just is, and I love him moving forward. Keenan Allen and Freiermuth for Pitts. I probably take Pitts, pal. I like that, Callie. I go after Pitts. What wide receivers do you trade Henderson for straight up? Henderson for Hopkins. Henderson for Diggs. Henderson for DK. Henderson for Justin Jefferson. There's a plethora of them that I would do. Okay, rapid fire before we go. That means you ask a question, you ask it fast, you ask it short, and I'm going to answer as many as I can, and I'm going to go fast. So if it's long, I'm not doing it. Smitty for the win. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ramos. Sell Lockett. Yeah, I do sell Lockett, especially after one big game. As you left a voicemail as Jeff Garcia, the hated. Let me see if I can find you. Hold on. Or Jeff Garcia. Jason Garcia? I said Jeff Garcia.
Hey, Smitty. After starting 0-3, I am now 5-3. So, I'm still looking to make some moves. So, do you think I could trade Darrell Williams and Kadarius Toney or Henry Ruggs for Michael Pittman or Mike Williams?
Probably not, but try. Try. I like the Mike Williams idea, and I certainly would go after him. He's buy low on the list over here, so yeah, I would. I appreciate your question, and I definitely go shopping. Swift or Dalvin Cook rest of season? Easy, Lucas. Come on. It's Dalvin Cook. Make sure you got Madison. Fournette and a 2022 4th-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. Give me DeAndre Hopkins. I got Clyde Edwards-Helaire Hunt. Should I be looking to do a trade? Yeah, I mean, I would look to do a trade, but who's going to buy 2 injured players, Jared? I don't know that anybody's going to. So, I mean, I need a little more information than that. Media's got a voicemail here.
Yo, Smitty, so I have Hawkinson and Kittle in a league, and so I'm wondering, should I do anything with them, and what are some guys maybe that I can get for trading one of those 2 guys? I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, Hawkinson or Kittle with the wide receiver that's way lower than Diggs or DK or especially Hopkins. Go get Hopkins on the cheap. Same thing with Aaron Jones. If you can find a running back that's lower, give up Kittle. Or if you want to keep Kittle, give up Hawkinson. Hawkinson's playing better. You probably get more for Hawkinson. Keenan Allen or Diggs rest of season? Thank you, media, for the question. Give me Diggs. Very easy call for me. Thanks, Smitty, for your advice. Very helpful. Thank you, Rogue. Appreciate you. Should I trade Swift and Pitts? Swift or Pitts? He's getting double teamed. I trade Swift or Pitts. I don't know if this is relating to another question, but I mean, I trade anybody if you can get enough for him. You already have Hopkins. Well, there you go. Diggs, other wide receivers that are right there. DK was a sell buy low, but now I don't think you're going to get him. But Diggs, you still can. Eric, I'll try and get to it. This is from Jesus here. Appreciate that, Jesus. Trade Jamar Chase for CeeDee Lamb and Montgomery. No, Montgomery doesn't move the needle for me. Lamb and Chase are pretty close, but I think I want Chase a little bit. I like Chase a little bit more. You got the concern about Dak a little bit, just a little bit, not a big concern. He obviously CeeDee Lamb delivered. He had over 100 yards, but I like Chase a little bit more, but it's really close. And you know what? Lamb's already had his bye. So if you need the win, then I probably lean CeeDee Lamb because he's already had his bye. Barkley versus Swift. I mean, how does Swift not beat a guy that's not on the field? And we don't know if Barkley's returning this week, and then he's got a bye week. So give me Swift. Smitty, when do you think Kyler Murray? What do I think of Kyler Murray this week, or what do you do with Kyler Murray this week? If out, should I stream? It depends on the options. Mike White's a great grab and start, pal. Mike White, get him. The Jets quarterback. He's the real deal, I think. But Kyler Murray, I believe, will be more than 50% as we get later in the week. It'll be like 60, 70% that he'll be a go. Next question here. Thoughts on James Robinson, keep or sell? I sell high because I'm worried about him, but I don't know if you're going to sell him injured. What running back can you get for Mike Evans? I don't know. Swift would be one. McCaffrey, but probably not. But you could try. You could give up a little more. Aaron Jones, you might have to give up a little more as well. But sometimes there are players that are worth it straight up. You got to give up a tiny bit more. Mahomes does not look like he's healthy at all. I agree. That could be the case. Mike White is right, says 28. He likes him. James Robinson, any thoughts? I'm worried. He's banged up. Seems day to day. CEH buy low. Depends how low. Sure, but it's got to be real low, bro. It's got to be real low because the momentum's not there. And now you got another running back entering the equation, and Derek Gore, who looked pretty darn good. So now you got 3 running backs to deal with. Eli Mitchell for Amari. Eli Mitchell's got more value. I think you can get more for Eli, or you hold him and you ride the wave. Amari's good, but he's inconsistent, so I'm not feeling that one necessarily. You just got lambasted. Hey, Smitty, thoughts on this trade? What is the trade? A.J. Brown, Edmonds for Mike Williams and Harris. Is that? I'm assuming that's Damien Harris, because if it was Najee Harris, we'd all be taking a lap for not being able to pull off trades like that and wonder, Grant, how you did it. What kind of magic are you using, pal? So Damien Harris and Mike Williams for A.J. Brown and Edmonds, very, very close. I'll probably take the A.J. Brown side. I like Damien Harris. I like Mike Williams, but yeah, Damien figured. Trade away Cook and Claypool for Debo Samuel and Mike Evans. Give me Cook. Steven with the super chat. Steven, I appreciate you, pal. 3-5, 2 games, win streak, QB, Ryan, stream, running back, Clyde, Darrell, Damien Harris, Carter. Carter's looking pretty solid for you, but that is a weak running back stable. Adams and really was good. That sucks, man. I apologize for the hit you took there. Devontae, Beasley, Hawkinson, man, you got to make a trade. I'll be honest with you, Steven. I wish I could tell you that this looks good, but, like, what do you sell? I mean, you have to sell Adams. Go to the Mike Williams owner, see what running back he has. I hope it's good. I hope it's Aaron Jones. I hope you can get Aaron. What wide receiver does the Aaron Jones owner have? Go after Aaron Jones and a really good wide receiver for Adams. It's your only shot. I'm just going to be blunt, and that's why you're asking me, right? You want honest advice. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you, fantastic, we got this. You got to make a move, and it's got to involve Evans and getting 2 players that are extremely undervalued that can help you bounce back. It's possible. It's just going to be hard, but once you land that one trade, then you can maybe turn one of those players into 2 more. I've seen people steamroll a lesser team than that into a powerhouse, and I've done it myself. I've had very little to work with and turned it into a powerhouse. You can do it. You got to land those trades, do 2-for-1s. Don't just get 2 guys. If you go trade in Adams and you get Fournette and Deontay Johnson, that's not it, buddy. That's not it at all. It's getting Mike Williams and Aaron Jones. Then it's taking Aaron Jones and turning him into, potentially Hopkins and then Eli Mitchell. And then all of a sudden you got this squad. Like, that's how you do it. You take one, divide it into 2. Take that one of those, divide it into 2, but you got to do the right 2. It can't just be diluting talent. Can't dilute talent. My friend laughs at me when I ask him for Aaron Jones and giving him Hawkinson and Kittle. Well, I'm sorry he laughed at you. Not everybody's going to make the trades that we want to make. Media, get back on your horse. You'll get it done. I believe in you, media. You're media. You can do anything. Mike Williams owner has Kamara, J-Rob, Jacobs. Mike Williams owner has Kamara, J-Rob, Jacobs. I don't like those 2. I mean, J-Rob and Williams is okay, but try the... that sucks. Try the Darrell Henderson owner. Try the Nick Chubb owner. Nick Chubb owners are kind of itchy to trade, and he's risky, but it's a decent move. Cook for Swift and Diggs. Swift and Diggs is pretty fair for Cook. Although, I don't know that I like that deal as much as I might like other deals, but it's not bad. Williams owner has Kamara. Oh, sorry. I maybe look at the Hopkins owner. What running backs does the Hopkins owner have, Steven? You might be able to get Hopkins on the cheap, or another wide receiver that's kind of around Mike Williams' value. So we're talking Adams, I believe, right? So you're trading Adams for like Evans and a running back like Aaron Jones, or Adams for maybe Cordero Patterson and Hopkins, or go to the Cordero Patterson. Who does the Cordero Patterson owner have at running back and wide receiver? And if Cordero Patterson's running back and wide receiver eligible, that makes it very flexible to go to that team and see, can you do an Aaron Jones and Cordero? Can you do a Hopkins and Cordero? And that might work for you for the Davante Adams swap. That's how you grow two players into, from one. So I like that. That would be pretty solid, Steven. That'd be a good place to go. Cordero Patterson. I'd go shopping. Dalvin Cook or Darrell Henderson rest of season. Easy call. Dalvin Cook. I think I've seen that already. I think I already answered that. That's Dalvin Cook, man. Especially if you got Madison. Mike Williams and Knox for Kelsey. Give me Kelsey all day long. DJ Moore and Saquon for Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook by a mile. By a long mile. I'm out of here. I'm losing my voice. I don't feel very well all of a sudden. So I'm out of energy. 210 of you in the room. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out the door. And also know that I answer every single question I can. Pretty much everyone. 99% of the questions that are asked within 12 to 24 hours. Sometimes 36 hours of a video posting. You're in the live chat right now. But when I end the video, the comments will start out at 0. So if I missed your question, and I'm telling you, I will definitely sit here for like an hour or two answering questions. There are 209 of you still in here. You should be asking 209 questions, and I will be at it, doing my best to answer every one of them tonight. And then if you ask them tomorrow, I'll try and answer as many questions tomorrow as I can. Please get to Smitty1, play DFS, play Best Ball, play Underdog Fantasy by using my promo code, and you do that by just clicking on Smitty1.com and click the Underdog link. Same thing with Prize Picks. Doing the over and unders are fun. Smitty1.com, click on Prize Picks, click on Underdog, go through my link at Smitty1.com. It helps the channel grow, and you can find all my content. And anybody that buys a SleeperU.com lifetime membership tonight or tomorrow, I will give you a free draft call, a 1-hour call where you and I are on the phone, and I help you draft. Do whatever you need. You can talk beforehand a whole hour, talk a half hour beforehand, draft a half hour, draft the whole time for an hour, talk about Netflix, whatever you want. The hour is yours, and we'll do it live. Appreciate all of you. I will see you all tomorrow. My Tuesday to Thursday show is always airing at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday and Thursday. I'll see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you. Buy low, sell high, week 9. Let's go.